What is up, guys? I wanted to touch on a few things about this sawmill. I was watching one of my previous videos, and when it came to why I bought a Timberking, yikesville, I didn't explain anything properly. So I wanted to take the time to do that again. And now that I've ran the Timberking for about 20 hours, I've had a chance to learn more about it, and so I can bring you a more in-depth opinion about what's going on with it, in my opinion, because I said it was quite clear, and well, it's not clear. It's not clear to new sawyers. It's not clear to someone who's going to maybe buy a sawmill, or even to people who prefer another sawmill like Woodmizer. There was only a couple of reasons why. I'm not saying Timberking's better than any other. It's just what I wanted to do. It was going to work better for what I wanted to do. Now, these things is the cutthroat. The 29 inches of width that I can get in this saw was bigger than other saws, and then 16 inches of, an unobstructed rectangle in there was more what I wanted. The power of the motor, 23 horsepower Vanguard, was more horsepower for the size and price of sawmill. This is just the 1220, so this one is just the base model, except for it's the CRZ. It's something that they just put a few things on, like a trailer package, a little bit more stuff. So I wanted that, so I went ahead and paid a little bit more than just having just the track and the saw head on it. And without having an extension, I can saw 17.5 feet long. I thought that was more than I could get out of other sawmills, like I said, this size and this price. And then the rugged build. The things that I don't like about the Timberking right now is this pulley system here, how this works. I have to push the saw head through any sizable material because it's not tight enough, and it's all the way to the tight as it'll go, but I'm gonna have to get different eyelets with more thread coming up in here so that I can actually get it a little tighter and see if that helps. I would rather have a gear up here with a chain driven. That would be way better. Some of the other things I didn't like was that log scale. It just wasn't accurate. When I measured it, it was off a bit, even calculating for the kerf. It just wasn't on. So what I went ahead and did is took an old tape measure and put it on there where it's supposed to be, and now I just account for the kerf, and it's way more precise and way accurate. Now I know that it cuts within a 1/16 of an inch, because sometimes it won't go exactly to the inch mark where I want it to be. It'll be just above or just under, and you got to kind of raise and lower the head a little bit, trying to get it to go right where you want it. But whatever, it works. There's not too much I don't like about it. I was hearing a lot about these guide rollers. People were talking about they wear out really, really fast. I was reading on a forum, and they were saying because the water, that some of the people don't like to use soap or anything like that because it eats away the grease that's inside of the roller bearing. And some people were like, oh, you got to drill a hole in it and pump grease in there all the time. And I think that their watering system was in front of the roller bearing, the guide roller. I'm not sure. I haven't really taken a look, but that's what it sounded like they were saying, was it was in front of it, and it just washes out all the grease from the guide rollers. I have not had a problem with my guide rollers. I haven't had a problem with anything. The motor well, it's brand new. I mean, it runs perfectly fine. I did have to adjust the band wheels a tiny bit when I got it. They weren't exactly level, and the tracking on the blade, I had to adjust the tracking just a bit. But I mean, you're probably gonna have to do that on most sawmills. I didn't build it. I had them build it for me. This sawmill was built in April of this year. I picked it up on in March. I picked it up on April 1st. I don't know, I was thinking April 21st. So there's not too much I don't like about it. There's a lot of maintenance with a sawmill. So if you're thinking about getting into sawmilling, there's a lot of maintenance that goes with it. I did a lot of research. I was probably researching, reading forums for 2 years before I bought a sawmill. And I was already cutting beams with my chainsaws, and not a chainsaw mill. I'm a carver, so pretty steady with a saw. But as far as milling out seats for benches and stuff like that, I was already doing all that kind of stuff with my chainsaws. So I kind of knew what I was already doing. I just needed a tool that was more properly set up for making lumber and slabs and things like that. And slabs are definitely what I want to do. And I wanted to show you the slab that I was doing last week, or earlier this week. These redwood slabs, really pretty redwood here. But one of the things that escaped last video, I thought I tried to put it in, was these nails. There was one here, and that one ended up in the other slab, and then this one, and it damn near destroyed the saw blade. It peeled steel out of the belly, I don't know if you can see that, of the tooth. And it happened on a bunch of them. I mean, there's a bunch of burrs on these teeth. But yeah, I didn't know what I hit because of the way I hit the nail. I thought I hit a bigger piece of steel than that, and I kind of backed out a little bit, and was thinking, because I still wanted the slab that was on top if possible, so I decided to try and push through and just see, and it came out, and then it just sounded like a train wreck coming through the rest. I don't know if you can see it, but total hump. I can't really see it, but there's a big hump right here. It just did not cut after that at all. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the Timberking. And when the lumber's stacked, it won't matter what mill it came off of. It's just a matter of what tool is right for you. And this one was right for me, and for the price, and for everything that comes with it. It was pretty much just what I was looking for what makes sense to me. Well, thanks for watching Grain Fed today, guys, and have fun.